ability to make good eye contact in the virtual environment? Are you looking down at your slides or at people who may be on the screen, or are you looking at the camera? Again, rate yourself on a 1 to 5. So let's look at being courageous. What does that mean to you? I'd like you to think of what you're asking for and ask yourself, what would a courageous person do right now? It may be that you're not asking for enough and you need to push it further. It may be that you need to change your goals slightly and you need to think bigger. What would a courageous person do? If you have ideas you'd like to share with others, then please put them in the chat QA function, because it will inspire people. Otherwise, you can just write this down privately for yourself. When I was in corporate, back when I was in my 20s again, I was identified, that's the word I'm looking for, as a high flyer. And so consequently, I had to go through various different assessments. One of them was a challenge when we were given a problem to solve. There were 10 of us, I think, altogether, and 10 people watching us. At the end of that 15-minute assignment, my feedback was I had not spoken for 11 minutes. It was only a 15-minute assignment. I had been silent. In my head, I was having conversations, I was responding to people, I was asking questions, but nothing came out. I had to dig deep. For a courageous person, if I was a courageous person, I would have spoken earlier. I would have realized that I was invited to that meeting for a reason, and people wanted me to share my ideas, and I shouldn't keep my ideas small. People need to hear them. So for me, my courageous goal was to speak earlier on at meetings. I'd like you to meet Mary McGlynn. Mary is the president and the owner of Power Speaking, and this is how she celebrated her 70th birthday. This was Mary's courageous move. It certainly wouldn't be my courageous move, and it may not be yours, but it's about stretching beyond our comfort zones and identifying what would that be for us, and what would that do in terms of our career if we did do an equivalent to a skydive. When I need to dig deep, when I need to find that courage, I need a good reason to be courageous. I need my why. And for me, she's my why. This is my 6-year-old self. So when I need to speak up at a meeting, I do it for 6-year-old Sarah. Think about what your why is, because when you've identified it, it helps you become much stronger. You may want to share this in chat. You may want to keep this to yourself. Either is absolutely fine. You'll also notice that Mary did not jump out of the sky on her own. She had somebody strapped to her back who incidentally was wearing a helmet, although she was not. Who do you need to help you with your goal? And I suggest you don't just have one person who helps you for one thing. Think of all the challenges that you face and think of who can help you for those different challenges and opportunities so that you make the most of them. So you may have a coach, you may have a trainer, you may have a sponsor, you may have a mentor, etc., etc. So have a think. Who do you know? Who can help you? And develop what we would call a board of directors. Now, for some of you, there may be empty chairs at that table. You may have only filled 1 or 2. So just identify the type of help you need, because then you can reach out and network and ask people who knows who knows who knows who. That's how we grow. So who is it you can identify right now? You can write this down privately for yourself, but write down somebody who you could reach out to who can help you with your goal. And then it's time to assess. How courageous are you? Are you stretching yourself out of your comfort zone, or are you keeping yourself small? Again, on a scale of 1 to 5. And who are you connected with? Are you sticking to the same people? Do you have just one mentor? Or how can you expand your network so that the people who can help you have grown? And finally, let's have a look at the next steps. And I imagine they will be different for all of you because you've all got different goals. So your next steps may be something on this list. You may think, yes, Sarah, I need to take a speaking class, or I need to get a leadership position. You may already be fairly senior and think, actually, I can share my knowledge and I could be a coach or a mentor and help other people who are coming up through the organization. So have a look. It may be something entirely different, not on this list at all. That's absolutely fine. But make a commitment to do something different this week. There is a power in making that commitment. If you would do it in chat or the QA function, that will be fantastic. You may also trigger a feeling in somebody else, because they may give them some ideas of steps that they can take. If you don't want to share it, absolutely fine, but please, you know where I'm going with this, write it down. And while you're doing that, I have two offers for you. One, if you have enjoyed this session and would like to keep the conversation going, then please come and join me on LinkedIn. You can follow through this QR code, so take a screenshot. And if you contact and connect with and follow Power Speaking on LinkedIn, and you comment on a blog, you will automatically be entered into a free prize draw. And every quarter we pull out a couple of names, and those people get contacted and offered free coaching. So if that's something that's of interest to you as well, then you may do that. Otherwise, just come and join us and join in the conversation. Also, at the beginning of the session today, I talked about the female leaders that we interviewed to find out what they would like to share with us about confident speaking. If you would like to hear more about their advice, more about the strategies they're recommending, then you can just follow this link and fill in your details, and you will be sent Circles of Light, which is our white paper, which contains far more than I could cover today. It has been wonderful working with you all. Just remember, you do not have to do this alone. Together, we are so much stronger. If I haven't answered all your questions, please hunt me down, come and ask your questions. I am more than happy to keep the conversation going and to answer any questions that you may have. And reach out to one another and offer your support. Don't be afraid to ask. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye-bye.